Congratulations. Okay. Anybody else wants to share? Okay, hold on a second. I just waiting for congratulations. Oh, okay. Anybody else wants to share? Okay, I'm repeating myself. How can? Okay, hold on a second. Oh, I know what happened. Okay. Yeah, I have two different browsers open. It wasn't opening the wrong browser. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Anybody wants to share? I'm back.
Well, actually, I would like to share something. I'm excited that my upline's finally getting involved. Do you know who he is? He
Yes.
actually
Yeah, I talked about it
downloaded
yesterday.
he downloaded his Zoom, so that means he's serious. And finally, and then that's what I'm excited about. Finally, our team is getting all back together again over here. And then I'm going to Jacksonville, so I'm excited about that. And because I've never been at the Untermeyer's place, so I'm excited about doing that. And so that's, and I enrolled another person today, so I'm excited. I'm just excited about life. So.
Super, super. Yeah, for also you, this week is Jacksonville and Dallas, and I don't remember other places that is this week. Make sure you go there because this is a great experience. And Daniel is on fire. When you hear him talking, he is literally on fire. Anybody else want to share before we go? No, no, we don't. We are not going anywhere. Never mind. I'm
Hey
excited. I
George,
want to go out, start talking to people. Go ahead, Kevin.
um, your volume is like super low coming through on my end. I don't know if it is for everybody
Oh,
else, but
really? That's weird. Let me check what could be. All right. What about now?
same.
Oh, okay. Let me try the.
I can hear you, but it's very faint. I can hear everybody else really well, but yours is just
Okay.
faint for whatever
It's
reason.
it's
Uh,
normal on my end.
yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Well, yeah.
Maybe
Oh,
it's
that's
because we're
interesting.
1,700 miles apart.
I know. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see everything on my end seems okay. No, I was looking at the speakers and everything. But anyway, anyway, super excited about everything that's happening. We are day three, day three. We have about 21 days for Christmas Eve. Wow. No, 31 days. 31, no, let's see, 30, yeah. We had, and that, no more. Jeez, my math today is terrible. I have to confess, I went to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning because I was reading a book and I couldn't let an audible that I'm watching and reading at the same time. I had it in both format. And then I like to see sometimes that when I'm listening, I like to be reading at the same time. I got so much into it, I didn't realize the time and it was amazing. And anyway, if you want to know the name, is Time is a Tool by Dr. Ben Hardy. Amazing book. But if you're going to read that first, you have to read one called The Science of Scaling because it's based on the science of scaling. Dr. Ben Hardy, he expand the time as a tool is expanding. Is why you have to the first book first because he expanded in the first book. And if you just go straight to time is a tool, then you are going to miss some of the things because again you have to have the first book, Dr. Ben Hardy or Benjamin Hardy. I have it in some places, and it's called the science of scaling. And then the second one, the one I now, that's time as a tool. I talk about that in a second. But anyway, actually, we are going to be talking about something based on the time as a tool. One of the things that we have an amazing business. I've been when I'm doing the 30 minutes call or the 45 minutes, especially a 30 minutes call with coaching, I've been making sure that people see how powerful is our business. From the point of view in the network marketing industry, even with all the noise that is out there, all the other companies out there, there's nothing like ours. I know people say to you, say, "Oh, your pay plan is like ours." No, it's not. When you start going into the nitty gritty, into the details, we have something that's way more powerful. First, the simplicity. You really build only two legs. Now people say, "Yeah, but we had cycles." That's the smart thing, that we can get paid unlimited levels, that we have cycles, because the cycles, when you have 300, 600, or 600, 300, and I'm not going to go much into the pay plan. I do that on Saudis. I go deep into the pay plan. But one thing that I want to say is, when you have a cycle, 200, 300, 600, or 600, 300, this is the accumulation of volume that you have on each leg. In each leg, when you have 300 and the other one 600, that's all the volume that's coming in. You get that cycle, and you can get up to 600 cycles and to 27,000 a week, up to $1.4 million a year. And the cool thing is that it's not based on rank. The only rank that you must have to qualify for having unlimited levels is a qualified brand ambassador. What that means, when you are active with at least 6 points, and you have one person on the left and one person on the right that have 60 points. But this is very, make sure you mute yourself. I must, okay, hold on a second. Let me mute. I don't know who was talking, but anyway, and that's so powerful, the importance of the simplicity of the pay plan. Just because we don't understand at first cycle, because it's a new concept. The first time that I heard cycle, the same thing, I was confused, because I was used to the normal commission. Oh yeah, you get 5%, 6, 7 levels down. But what is better, to have 4, 5, 6%, 7 level down, or to have unlimited levels? Think about that, unlimited levels. In any other company has levels, you have qualifications to qualify for the first 2 levels, then for the third levels. Even in binaries, they have rules how much money you can make according to your rank. Here, there's no rules. We are not telling you you have to be a 7-star to max out to 27,000 a week. No. If you happen to have 2 superstars coming, one on the left, one on the right, you are going to max out the plan to 27,000 a week. But let me tell you one more thing. But in order to have the odds in our favor, you must, and we must, sponsor people, because that's the way that eventually we have those 2 people, one on the left, one on the right, that explode. It's not like other pay plans that you're building frontline. You have to have X amount of directors. In the company that I started making money in network marketing, I have to get to the top position that I had to have 10 chief executives in my front line. It's like having 10, I would say, like 3-star pro, 3-star elite, each one, 10. And they were in my front line. And you say, well, you sponsor 10, and no, how many people you sponsor that even sponsor one person? There are many that don't sponsor anybody. I had to find those 10 legs that were leaders, that were moving each one at least 10,000 points in volume every month. 10 different ones. Here's so simple: left, right, build. And then you have the matching bonus, where you are matching on the leaders. And that one is the only one that's based on ranks. It's when you are 1-star, you get paid on the first, and your personals up to 30%. When you are a 2-star, and the second, and again, all that I go in the pay plan on Saudis. That's why I don't want to go. But in order to do that, we must have work with numbers. First of all, we have to have a goal. Can you imagine, for those of you that play sports or watch sports, that you're playing basketball and there are no baskets? Or you're playing football and there is no any end point to there's not the goal zone, there's nothing. Or you're playing soccer, there's no place to score. Or it's baseball and you don't have a home play. Doesn't make sense. The home place is the goal. The baskets is the goal. The goal posts are the goal. It's the goal. You say the goal when you get there. And that's so important, that we must have goals. And our goals cannot be too small, because if we have a very small goal, there's no that motivation. Let's suppose that many of you have gone through that experience. You go into a business and you have to spend $100,000, $500,000, $1 million in a business, a franchise. You are willing to do whatever it takes to learn what is necessary to make sure that you are going to build that business. Doesn't matter if it's a restaurant, doesn't matter if it's any kind of franchise, a franchise for business, consultant, whatever. You must have you are going to sell anything possible because you just spend $100,000, $200,000, $500,000. Many people have mortgaged their homes and they are an SBA loan or a bank loan or something like that. And you had that pressure. Here, the most is $2,800 to get in. And you are receiving value from the beginning. You're receiving more than $2,800 in product. But it's too easy. I know people say, yeah, that's a lot of money. It's not. For those of you that have business, tell me, a business that's going to produce you $100,000 a year, how much money you have to invest? Example, Subway. I'm putting as an example. Subway, the average income per Subway is only $60,000 a year. And you're investing more than that to start it. And you start to, unless you hire somebody, but the more people you hire, your income goes way down because you have to pay salaries. And then if you have say, oh, I am going to hire managers, well, for sure your income is going to go down. I'm going to hire this, it's going to go down. And if you are being the manager because you want to make sure you make the most money at the beginning, because most people does that, they are working how many hours, how many days a week? Those Subway is like chicken fillet that they close on Sunday. No. And by the way, to getting chicken fillet is even harder because you have to work inside for a long time. I forgot how much a long time to have the chance to have your own chicken fillet. The same happened with In-N-Out, and they are similar, working similar. Not only is the money invested, and then you are working like you're a slave of your own business with a potential. Do you think those business? How many of those businesses actually have a potential that you create on a six-figure? I'm not talking about $1 million a year, $100,000 or more income and residual. That if you decide to go to the mountains, like you see in the background, or you decide to go to Tahiti, and the income keep coming. Well, this is what network marketing is. And then we have a pay plan that's simple. We have products that are in the PDR. I know there are some competition that tell you, oh, the PDR. Anybody can be there. You have to pay. And then you say, why you are not there? Because yes, you have to pay. It's like going in an exclusive club. You have to pay, but you have to qualify. You have to be referred by somebody. You have to have the qualifications. They are the same in different professions. It's an engineer club, like exclusive club. You have to pay to be part of it. You have to have qualifications. To be in the PDR, you have to have the studies, certification of the product, that guarantee that what is in the label is in the product. If you are not there, there's no any guarantee. It doesn't matter how good the product is, but that doesn't mean that they guarantee that is what is in the label. Doesn't matter what they say in the label. Oh, everything that is in the label is here. But is it? You don't know because there are no certification. And then we have an incredible pay plan. We have a business and network marketing is amazing. A lot of people, it's funny. And I'm going to go into some of the objections. One of them is the money. If you are going to start a 6-figure, 7-figure income, what kind of investment you need? That was before, by the way. You say all those things before the objections comes in. How much money do you need? How much? And if the person has been in business, they say, oh, geez, in the last business I invested so much money, I lost a lot of money. Or maybe it was okay, but then it's still is a slave of the business. That's, by the way, preempting the objection of money. And it's why when they say 2,800 and they see the potential, they say, oh, that's not bad, because you're preempting the cost of the business. But even if they say, well, I don't have 2,800, but can I get with half of that also? That's amazing, 1,400. That's why we had the packages. Of course, the bigger the package, the advantage, they receive more products. And then, of course, and with the 2,800, you are active for 12 months, basically. But you see, that's a way to preempt the objection. The other thing is the time. One of the things, preempt the objection. How do you preempt the objection? Very simple. You know the cool thing? That you can start this business in about an hour or 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, 10 hours a month, a week, 5 days a week, 10 hours a week, max, that's 2 hours a day. And you can divide those hours. Well, it builds because you are working with a team, you are working with me, you're working with Upline. Let me tell you who is about us. You don't need a lot of time. You see, the I don't have time is gone. In most cases, of course, there are people that sometimes just for the heck of objection or because they don't understand something or because they just don't care, they're going to tell you an objection. But here you are preempting the objections up front. And one of the things that you say, and this business is amazing. Let me tell you why. If you happen to get in the next in the big in a great company that's going to create, it could be a multi-billion-dollar company, like companies that have been around for 70 years. And there are people that are retired for years and they are getting an income every month. You can do the same thing by starting in the ground floor. Very few people know about this company. What if in 10 years you decide, okay, I ain't gonna travel the world and you have an income? What, 2,000 a week, 5,000 a week, $1,000,000 a year? Why not? That's amazing. What objection you get rid of it? Network marketing is a pyramid or it's a scam. Scams don't last 60 or 7 or 80 years. And they're not in the PDR, by the way. That's another thing is why you say our products are in the PDR. And that means that we have to guarantee that's in the and that's in the label, it's in the product. We are a very strong credibility company, plus we have third-party studies. You see, the important is that's the way to get the objection off. And then we go into the action. And action is super simple. People say, well, why do I do? Okay, you're excited. And I'm just going to share my screen because it's there and it's been there all along. That is the 5-point recruiting system. Now, let me go first back. This is our page, our legacy makers. And you say, where can I find that? It's in several places, but I'm going to go straight to business training. These are 5 steps that every person that is successful in any kind of business has a very similar. I'm talking in every kind of business because step 1, make your list. If you're opening a restaurant, the first thing that you're going to do is make a list of the people that you know and you are going to ask them. I'm opening a restaurant. I'm going to have a grand opening in a month. Who do you know that would like to go to that grand opening? This is what I'm going to have. I'm excited. Any business at the beginning, you do the same thing here. This is no different. Just because it's so easy to get in, that doesn't mean that it's not a serious business. And by the way, that could be one of the challenges. Too easy to get in is too easy to get out. And one of the ways to get out, even if the person's still in the business, is they're not doing the actions. Again, I was having the example before. If you invest hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars in a business, you're going to do whatever it takes. But many times in our subconscious, we think that, it's only $2,800 compared with other businesses. I can start later. And we take it too easy. And then suddenly, years pass and we say, oh, I never started. Although never is late, but it's better to start ASAP, as soon as possible. But anyway, the second step is connect and inviting. Again, you make the list. The second step, you're inviting at that restaurant. I put it as an exemplar restaurant. The step 3, the presenting the opportunity in a restaurant is to have a beautiful setting, especially if it's a grand opening, but a beautiful setting. The food is great and the environment is great. The music is amazing. The service is amazing. And the follow-up. Many restaurants today, they get you to enter your phone number for a contest or something like that, or take a picture of the QR code, and then they start sending you offers. Follow-up. The onboarding in our business is what we do every Saturday. And when you invite people, the cool thing that all these steps, they have links. For those of you that have not seen that. Create a name list. You have here the create list, how to create your own story. Step 2, how to connect, how to invite, the tracking forms. Tracking forms are so darn important, but again, it's so easy to get in this business. It's so easy to get out. What is the tracking forms? You have to have tracking of your business. First of all, you have the list of people, then the daily practice that is presenting, is connecting, presenting, and follow-up, and then the level up tracker. That's basically, and it's my favorite, where you write the names of the people that you are going to be connecting, and then of those, how many are going to see the presentation. And when you have 15 people that see a full presentation, it's a good chance that you sign up 6. But even if you sign only 3, you're starting out, you get better with time. And you're doing those presentations with your upline leader. It's so, and that's the business. Let me go back here. Okay. All right. That's the business. Those 5 stages is the business. The cool thing that we have the tools, we have the videos, but the steps are very simple. Again, you make your list. You always create the list. Well, always add new people to the list. That's why we talk about, for those of you that want to do social media, to be in social media, or how to connect with people when you are in a restaurant, or you go to a flea market and you pick up cards, or a show, you pick up cards, or a coffee place, you connect with people, or go window shopping. What is window shopping? And I think you probably, in one of the presentations I mentioned it, window shopping, one of the things is I go to, for example, a mall, and it's not very busy, and I see some salespeople that look sharp that in one of the stores, and I say, hi, I have a question. This is totally off the wall. You look very sharp, and I am expanding my business in this area, and I would like to connect with you. It's a way that we can connect. Are you in social media? Usually I ask for social media because we can connect in social media. Here's my phone number. Can I have yours? You say, you always offer first. Because, and the person said, what is the business? I would like to tell you now, but I'm kind of in a hurry. That's window shopping. Not only you can go window shopping to purchase stuff, but you can window shopping for leaders. You have to be very not too aggressive or talking to, because they can kick you from a mall. How do I know? I have been kicked off malls twice, especially at the beginning, not lately, because now I know how to do it. But twice we were kicking ball of the mall. Why? Because we were going together like 20 people, and everybody asking, say, oh no, we had to get rid of those guys. They were kicking us out. But there's no excuse. You are making your list. You are connecting with people. You are presenting. Your follow-up, and then of course they are becoming leaders. And then, the magic of the pay plan happens. And by the way, the magic of the tools. You are doing face-to-face presentation. You are doing Zoom presentation. You are sending videos like the one that we've been sending and getting the edge. Okay, every day there's a different speaker. You are connecting with people doing Zooms. There are so many ways to connect that there is no excuse. Oh, I don't know anybody in my town. What town do you come from? Oh, you know people there? Let's do a Zoom. Yeah, because in the past, that was many times a valid excuse. 20, 30 years ago, it was a valid excuse. Gee, I just moved here. I came from Anchorage, Alaska, and I don't know anybody here in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm brand new, don't know anybody. Of course, one of the vaccinations against that is to go out and do window shopping is one of them, or go to flea markets getting cars, or connecting with people aside. But even if you say now that excuse doesn't fly today. Where do you come from? Anchorage, Alaska. You know some people, oh, yeah, I grew up there. I went to high school and all that stuff. Okay, let's do Zoom. There's no excuse. And then we have a pay plan that's amazing. We don't have to, Saudi, for those of you in Saudi, I'm not going to do now. I showed you guys a pay plan with 41 pages of one company that is sometimes they are purchasing some of our people, 41 pages. And they say, our pay plan is much better. Can you explain it to me? No, because they can't. And I say, well, I'm thinking big. How do you make $500,000 in your pay plan? They don't have a clue. Or they say, well, you have to have certain rank. Well, what entails to get to the rank? They don't know how to explain it. Because it's complex. Here, get one on the left, one on the right, keep repeating the process. Just on the binary, you can make $27,000 a week, $1.4 million a year. When you have people doing the same thing, you are getting the matching bonus on your personal, up to 30%. You happen to find the gold mine, one of those people become a superstar, is making $1 million a year. You're getting $300,000 a year, and one person, not a team, one person. Now, that person that's making $1 million is going to have 5, 10, 15, 20 people that they're making a lot of money personal. And when you add all their commissions together, probably it's more than $1 million a year. You're getting 15% on that. Let's suppose that's twice that. It could be way more because they're going to have more people than that. Let's suppose that's $2 million. 15% that is another $300,000. Just in the to be a two-starter on top of already getting the cycles. Doesn't have anything to do with the cycle. Cycle you can make up to $27,000 a week, $1.4 million. Here's extra. And then there's those people that are in the second personas of this guy or this woman that are making that's making $1 million. They have a lot of people making money. Let's suppose that each one has 4. And let's suppose that he or she has 5. That's 20 people more. And if they're averaging, let's suppose 500,000 a year, because they have to have leaders in order for a leader to be making $1 million a year. That's 20 people. Even if it's $200,000, those 20 people, it's at least $4 million a year. And you're getting 10% of that. It's another 400,000, 300,000 for 400,000. How much is that? $1 million, and you still have not going level 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm using these big numbers not to sound hypey or anything like that. It's the possibilities that are there. We have already people earning more than 50,000 a week in this business. And for a company that is less than 3 years old, it's very amazing. That's not normal. There are companies that are older than us, like that company that has the 41 pages pay plan. And last year, they didn't have one person earning $1 million a year. 50,000 a year, by the way, a week, is over $2 million a year. And that company, been around for 75 years, last year didn't have one. And you say, well, it's because the income is more spread out. No, because they pay less and it's more complex. That's simple. That's simple. They pay way less per dollar than we do, per every dollar that the company is getting. And that's why I just want to finish at this. Then what do we do? Remember the 5 points of the business. Make your list, connect with your list, present, follow up, and then get the people to onboarding. Repeat that process consistently. Doesn't matter how you present it. Your favorite way is presenting on Zoom because you feel more comfortable. Just do it. Because I know people say, oh, I'm afraid to talk to people, but I could do it on Zoom. But they are not doing either one. No, do it. You do it with your upline leader. You bring people to your home. You do it with your upline leader. Even if you are by yourself. We talked on Friday about that. Let's do a virtual home business presentation. Your upline is in Chicago, and you happen to be in Lubbock, Texas, and you don't have any, you have a people coming to the meeting, but you don't have anybody to help you because you are brand new and nobody's there in this area in Lubbock. Lubbock is like 5 hours from Austin. Then guess what? Your leader in Chicago, that could be Kimberly, is doing the presentation through Zoom, connected to your computer. And it's simple. I know some people say, technology, I'm scared of technology. Ah! It's so simple to learn it. And you know how to you learn it? By doing it. That's simple. You are going to make mistakes? Sure. Gosh, the first time when I was a kid, I wanted to swim. And I thought I could. I jumped in the swimming pool, and I'm glad there were people around. If not, I would not be here. And of course, I got scared of the water for a little while until I learned to swim. But I said, oh, gee, this is not easy in the movies, as in the movies, the people was watching around. But anyway, any questions? I just wanted to make sure we went into that because the business is simple, the potential is amazing. We have an amazing company, and we are at the beginning in the first 3 years. Anybody, any questions or any comments before we go? Hi,
George, I
Christine.
have a comment.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Go, Daryl, go ahead.
Hey, I just love the fact that you've thrown out the really large numbers because it's one of those things. It's just like when you start a new job, you go in, they're paying you $25 an hour, and you're stoked because they're paying you. And then 2 weeks later, you find out the manager's making $40 an hour. And you're like, well, I want to make what he's making. You can't go in the boss and say, hey, I need to make what he makes. So what do? You work your way up to that management position. And that's all you're saying is, you guys, you need to know what the potential is. That's why Christine Peterson's here. She knows the potential. I mean, the lady's made millions. She knows what she's doing. But does she know? Mary Kay is a different bird than this bird. But she's learning and she's growing and she's amazing and she's one of the most incredible leaders. It's just like George. You know, he's growing, and I think it's amazing how you put the numbers together, George, and that we understand where we're headed and what we can do. That's what's important. Is, you know, numbers don't lie. I've heard Christine say it. I've heard George say it. I've heard a lot of people say it. And it's true. Numbers do not lie. So just, take what he says and run with it.
Yeah.
Pretend. There's a great book out there. It's called Science of Scaling.
We
You
mentioned
need
it.
to read it. I'm telling you right now, you need to read it. It takes you from understanding that your goals aren't just for 6 months, 8 months, 12, a year out, 5 years. You can take that 5 year goal and make it a year goal and achieve it. You just have to believe in yourself. And that's all I have to say. Thanks, George, for this morning. You're amazing.
Thank you.
George?
Christine, you're
Oh,
gonna mention. uh, Hello?
it's Miriam. Just really
Oh,
quickly, something that I
Miriam.
absolutely,
Oh,
can you hear me?
go ahead. Yes,
Sorry, I
perfect.
hope I didn't interrupt anybody. Something that I love that you have on the legacy site is the 3 talking points. Love that. I've used it quite a bit over the weekend in Warm Chatter, and they're just great little bullet points. And I think everyone needs to know that if they haven't seen it, because I just recently discovered it as I was going through the site. So much great information.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. That's right. The talking points are powerful. There's the tools
Yeah,
that are
thanks,
there
Miriam.
are not just for decoding, are for real. Okay, by the way, the link to the book is there. It's called The Science of Scaling. That's the link to Amazon, but you can buy it also in Barnes and Nobles or any other place that sells books. Christine, you were gonna say something. I know.
Oh, well, I just have a quick comment. I just love you're the master of numbers. And I would say for everyone here, don't be afraid to talk big numbers, even though you're not making it yet. Use us. We've achieved those numbers, but you link onto your person. But it is true. If you talk real small numbers, are you afraid to talk business because you're afraid you feel more comfortable just with the product? That's where you're always going to be. You have to language what you language, so it shall be. And people are looking for people like you that know where you're going. If you're timid and you're hesitant to talk, oh, I'm not making that kind of money, why would I talk to other people? Then you're not going to follow them. They're not going to follow you. You have to. Um, when I was recruited initially into this networking world 43 years ago, what did they do? The person that enrolled me didn't only enrolled one person, me, and she didn't make any money. And yet she showed me the Applause magazine where all the women were making big money, 20, 40, $80,000 a month 40 years ago in an old marketing hard plan. I didn't care what she made. I just wanted to hear the potential. And that's what recruited me. If she had just said, well, I'm just doing a little part-time and you can make a little extra money here and there, I'd say, no, I'm not interested. You're looking for people like me and George who are hungry, want to make big money. But the more people you talk to, and that's why George says, go and look for those sharp looking people. I love that, what you said today, window shopping. I love that. And I'm expanding our business in the area. I think you'd be great at doing what we're doing. Would you be open? AI is changing a lot of lives. I told my group this morning on the other call that we saw a McConish on CNN on Saturday morning said they did a survey of people saying, how many do you think AI will really change will it jeopardize your career? And 70% said, no, they don't think anything will change. They are living in major denial and they're going to get wiped out. And so you better go find them and educate them. So when they do lose their job, they'll remember, what did they say? That person did tell me this was going to happen. Maybe I better go back and find out what they're really doing. You are at an opportunity, a time, it's like the perfect storm. Millions and millions, millions, hundreds of millions of people are going to lose their jobs, never be replaced again. There are 10 people for each of you to become your headhunters, your board of directors that will bring in thousands. So just think
Yes.
big, talk big numbers,
It's not hyping, it's reality. But only a few will really take advantage of the big numbers because they think differently. They're the top 4%, the 1% that write their goals down to 3% and have the goals in their head. The other are daydreamers. And I'm sure that survey was most of the daydreamers and the people that have no goals at all. The 69 and 27% have no goals. Okay, they will find out in a reality check probably in the next year or two. So it's an exciting time. This is the time you create great wealth.
Yes, that's
You
right. By the
can't,
way,
yeah.
okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry, Christina.
No, I was just going to
didn't want
say, you can't sit down and run your business like you did last year. You have to get your running shoes on. You have to run like your life depends on it. I'm just telling all of you, you're going to miss out. You can't be cautious, timid. You got to be out there, you know. And I don't care who says no. I worry about who I miss. That's my motto. All right,
Yeah.
George.
Yeah, and you don't want to miss one day you find out that your neighbor got into tree and became a super leader and you were afraid to talk to that neighbor.
Yes.
And by the way, it has happened in the past. It's not just a theory. It has happened in the past many times. I told you how a top leader in the company where before didn't call his mom and she joined the same company and called him trying to sponsor him in the company. It was his own mom. He had not told his mom because I don't know. I really don't know.
I know.
have a
One last thing. I
Yeah, go ahead.
copied this. I talked to my people today about the Wall Street. For those that didn't hear, but it says CEOs start saying the quiet part out loud. Out loud. AI will wipe out your jobs. And it goes on. And it says it could be up to 10 to 20%. Half of all entry-level jobs will disappear in 5 years, resulting in 10 to 20% of unemployment. And the CEOs are saying, stop sugarcoating the situation. But it says it's a wake-up call. It does not matter if you are a programmer, designer, project manager, data scientist, lawyer, customer service rep, salesperson, or finance person. AI is coming for you. This is this
Yes.
weekend out of Wall Street.
Yes,
I mean, it's right here. Wake up, make copies, and show people and be educated.
Yes,
Okay.
and you know what Amazon announced 600,000 jobs are going to be replaced.
Yes.
I make a fun video about that, by the way, using AI because people say, "Whoa, what do you mean?" Let me see. There is something. Oh, okay, this video. Listen to it. I hope you can. Oh,
Yeah.
hold on a second. That I had to share again because I didn't put the sound. All right, now you're gonna hear it. Okay, when I'm in the sound, you can look at this. I made the video, by the way. All these people don't exist to see what AI can do today. Okay, there it is. Oh, no volume. Okay. Okay, there.
To eliminate 600,000 jobs with Oompa Loompas.
Look at it.
Amazon plans to eliminate 600,000 jobs with Oompa Loompas. Let's take a look.
That's right. Amazon reports saving millions of dollars through this initiative so far. They say switching to these pint-sized production.
Amazon.
Okay, that was, of course, a joke, but it's because why I did that video because I want people to look at my Facebook. But it's true, 600,000 jobs because technology, robotics. And for those of you that have been in my salary calls, once in I play sometimes excerpts or different videos, and one of them was talking about how an invention in Australia can leave millions of people around the world out. And I'm not saying with a smile because I'm saying just because what is happening on the construction industry. Some careers have been eliminated from college already now because they realize they are not needed anymore. Think about that. Now, but our business is not because it's the human touch. And when you look at the people that are experts, they say always there are places where the human touch is going to be necessary. And which is one of those places? We are there. We have the right timing, the right product, the right technology, because we have AI behind us with Now Site, if you want to use technology. As a matter of fact, I have a call at 4 o'clock with the people Now Site because I suggest some ideas and we are going to be going back and forth. But anyway, this is incredible opportunity of the lifetime. We always say that in any business, but today it's even more than ever.
It's
Morning,
true.
George.
What is happening around? Go ahead.